I cannot help it but to think sometimes bus enthusiasts in Singapore are just plain dumb. When it comes to like bus rationalization, sometimes they just say, "Oh, you should keep this service." They're like commenting for the sake of commenting without actually using their fucking brain to think. And I would just say that like across the world, it's so damn difficult to be a bus or train enthusiast nowadays because people would just lump you with the extremist groups that want to get rid of all private transport like cars in favor of public transport because they would lump you together with them. And sometimes I've seen some Singapore bus enthusiasts try to emulate that as well. It's like they say, you should keep all the long bus distance services because, I hate cars and I don't want people to use private transport. I want every single person to embrace public transport, whether they like it or not. See, the whole point when it comes to like transport as a whole is that like people who want to drive, just let them drive. People who want to take bus or take train, just let them take bus or take train. Like, there's no forcing, okay? But it's literally when these dumbasses go around saying, we have to stop people from owning cars, and they use this as the shitty reason why you should keep all of these, like, useless shit bus services. I don't even want to elaborate this one. You have this, and you have this. Both of them meet up at Serangoon Road and Jalan Besar. I cannot make this any clearer for you. These two are basically replacements of this service. You guys fail to realize that this service has like a runtime of, I don't know, 2 hours and 30 minutes. So why the hell would you keep a bus service that's clearly not doing well and is basically a pain in the ass to drive for the BCs? They have to get like stuck in congestion between like Newton Circus all the way up to like Macpherson Road. And sometimes it's not even congestion because of like other vehicles. Sometimes there are just way too many buses that do the same thing. So how do you solve it? Just get rid of this. Just channel the resources to this or this. That's it. In this context, this one has to go. This one just needs some sort of like route amendment to make the route useful again and to reduce the duplication with 24. That's it. I hope by now that people have realized that government statutory boards, they tend to have really big egos. They would not introduce a route that they have just withdrawn. The simple reason why this thing's demand has declined is because this variant goes to Promenade MRT. The existence of Promenade MRT alone, and also the existence of like downtown MRT, has pretty much killed off, would have killed off any form of demand this service would have had. Then you might be asking me, why did 972 even survive? Like, why did this and this even survive? Because this has demand, and I was told that like people actually take this bus service through the loop, like through Bencoolen Street. The thing is, could you actually extend 972 to Shenton Way or Marina Center? Yes, you can, but again, will they actually do it? No, not likely. To keep it short, they will never ever reinstate a service that they've withdrawn. They would do it, if they want to do it, they would do it in the form of another service. Like for example, 75, right? They compensate with 121 getting extended from Shenton Way to Marina Center. They would use another service to do it, as opposed to bringing back the service altogether. And for people who say that this thing should still go to Marina Center, you are stupid. You know why? This thing And this thing, they get trapped in Newton Circus. Not just that, the effects of like the Orchard turn congestion would be brought over to Bukit Panjang, Yishun. I mean, unreliability basically. And not to mention that this thing literally passes through Bukit Timah Road, which is congestion prone at times. And that's the reason why they decided that it wasn't even worth it running the service. It's not like this service had like really high demand or anything. Because you know why? You actually have alternatives. It's just you're too lazy to even use them. The bottom line is, if you guys still want anything extended to Marina Center or Shenton Way, I would rather you tell them this, as opposed to trying to bring back this or this or this. You bring them back, you're just throwing money down the toilet. The Northeast Line rationalization is another thing, where I felt that bus enthusiasts just have loud mouths and no brain cells. They don't know how to think. Like literally, you have like 147 that goes here, you have like 82 that goes here, and then you have other alternatives like this, and then you have 107 that pretty much plies the entire route. 107's demand is still like okay-ish. See, here's the thing. If you are asking that to bring back the full day express services in some way, I could accept it because it's along a different corridor. But I've seen a lot of bus enthusiasts. They get, I don't know. It's like they get so like they become so full of themselves. They start suggesting that literally every single thing that duplicated along this sector, like for example, like this, like this, like this, like this, they are literally suggesting that every single thing has to be brought back. Oh, not to mention this, or even like this in the past, or even this in the past, or this. And then I'm here like, guys, you don't need all of them. All you need is this, and this, and this to go southwards. Like 147 really takes you to like pretty much the entire NEL except Dhoby Ghaut and Harbourfront. 133 already gives you like some form of alternative to Suntec and Shenton Way if you guys are mad about the loss of 82. And there's 107, which again covers 82 as well. Like you're saying, this is one thing people don't understand. Even if Northeast Line didn't exist, the bus services would end up rationalizing each other. It's not even MRT at that point. When you have so many duplicates, like way more than needed, they would rationalize each other. And if you're asking me about like Sims Way and Geylang Road, or like Serangoon Road and Jalan Besar, no, they wouldn't. I mean the existing services. You know why? Because there's access penalty between Serangoon Road and Jalan Besar. And between Sims Way, Geylang Road, Sims Avenue, Geylang Road, Sims Avenue, Changi Road, Sims Avenue East, Changi Road, there is actually access penalty, which basically means you can keep service 2, service 7, blah 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 blah. Because there is access penalty. There is absolutely no form of like access penalty along this area. It's a bi-directional road. And it's a bi-directional road. Like, there is no justification as to keeping this many bus services. And I'm saying this like with the assumption that NEL doesn't exist. Because let me tell you, all they would do is do it like 190 and 972. They would make it so that like 147 is 190, the equivalent of 190, and then this one would probably be something like this or this. If anything, they would just make 147 190 And to be fair, it kind of is something like that anyway, just minus the express sector. They would just pump all their resources to this one, and then in the northeast context, they would just pump everything to 147. The reason why 147 is even sustainable in the first place is because you cut away all the useless duplicates. Like, for example, 103. I mean, sorry, I didn't draw it properly, but yeah. There is absolutely no reason why you should keep this and this at the same time. Because you know why, historically 103 didn't even go to Yishun. It just looped at like West Camp Road, Piccadilly, that area. And there was pretty much no one. Sengkang West wasn't even developed then. So they really had no choice but to cut this one away. It was legit a waste of resources. It is better if they make you hub spoke from 103 to 147 instead, in the name of saving resources. Should we bring 103 back? No. Its new purpose is already between Yishun and Serangoon. You don't really want 103 to be affected by the congestion down there. Okay? So that's the reason why 103 can no longer be extended. Because you don't want to bring the effects of the congestion down there, which is faced by 147, to the Yishun and Sengkang West, I mean Jalan Kayu residents. It's not fair. The more quote-unquote useless duplicates, no, I mean, not quote-unquote, but like, the more, so to say, useless duplicates you run, the more money you're gonna be throwing down the toilet, basically. So basically, Potong Pasir, Woodley, Serangoon, Kovan, up till Hougang has MRT, right? When it comes to beyond Serangoon North, all the way down to Eunos Link and Jalan Eunos, this entire corridor does not have MRT at all. I'm not counting this thing. This thing to Hougang to Defu is a completely different corridor, so I'm not counting this. The matter of fact still remains that like people need to get to places. So you have this thing that comes from Ang Mo Kio, you have this thing that comes from Bishan and Ang Mo Kio Avenue 10. Then you have this thing that comes from Yishun. So Ang Mo Kio, Bishan, Yishun. The reason why duplication is okay here is because all their destinations are different. This one, I would just say Bedok, South, Avenue 3, which is the new sector ever since like 2017 or something. I forgot. This one, Marine, I would say Marine Parade, but Marine Terrace area. And then 854, obviously, it's kind of a duplicate of 25, but see, here's the thing. 25 starts at Ang Mo Kio, and you could extend it beyond Bedok. But 854 starts from somewhere that's like further than Ang Mo Kio, so it doesn't make sense to extend 854 somewhere else. It only makes sense to truncate it to Bedok, right? How do I say this? It's like you have a bus service that goes from here to here, and then you have another bus service that goes from here to here. Kind of like in the same concept as like, this is 25, I mean 25 technically, there's this over here, and then here is like 854. This sector is actually really, really important. And then there's also like 55, right? Let's say from Bishan, like this, and then it would diverge, and then this thing would go to like, diverge, and this thing would go to like Bedok. No, sorry. I got confused with 155. Okay. More of like this. Sorry, like this. This is 55. You see the diagram, right? I know it's not the best diagram. Maybe I'll just use a lighter color. Like this, like this. This is 25. So you can see that the pink route 854 is doing a different purpose from, yes, there are duplicated sectors, obviously. We can see that. but this thing is doing a different purpose as compared to 25, as compared to 55. They all have their unique sectors, which is this, Ang Mo Kio Avenue 3, Ang Mo Kio Avenue 10 and Bishan, and the entire Marine Terrace Siglap sector. It's all different. And this one, Bedok South Avenue 3. Why? Because 25, 55, and 854, yes, they do have short distance commuters that rely on all three of them, but they also have long distance commuters. And the main point is the long distance commuters. If it's all short distance commuters, then okay, fine, you could like withdraw one of them. But over here, it's like there are three services that have completely different long distance or even medium distance catchments. That's why all three of them have to stay. And it's also given that there's no MRT. All the more they have to stay. Unlike Upper Serangoon Road, which already has NEL. Why is duplication okay here? Uh, 960 goes here. The old 700 used to go here. Like from the old 700 used to go from Woodlands to Bukit Panjang Road, then it got replaced with 960. In a way. But why is this okay? Because this thing serves inside Woodlands. I mean inside Marsiling, what's that called? Marsiling Rise, Marsiling, is it Lane or Drive? I cannot remember, but you get the idea. It actually serves Marsiling Residential a little bit. Again, I'm sorry, I forgot the road names. This thing and this thing, starting from here, they go direct. But keep in mind that 960's purpose, it's to bring people back to the Kranji dorms from Little India. And 961 is pretty much a straight line school bus service. And then this thing serves Little India and Bugis, right? This thing serves Chinatown. So long distance wise, and the last bus as well, like long distance wise, their purposes are different. I'm not counting this and this because they go to Malaysia, that's their purpose anyway. But the reason why these are even allowed to duplicate is simply because there is no MRT along here. Just no MRT. And people from here need access to the outside world, right? Like around here especially. That's why they gave you like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bus services. And then they also gave you 984. And then they also extended 184 and 75 a little bit so that people along here could get access to it. There's a reason why they have so many buses along here. This is called duplication, but in the right manner. Now you might be asking, why are there duplicate bus services along Danyan and Bukit Timah? Number one, access penalty. Even though access penalty along this area, it's not that big of a deal, but there are intermediate stops, basically. When I mean intermediate stops, I mean the areas that, in case people are still confused as to what I'm referring to, it's the areas between MRT stations that do not have immediate MRT access. Jesus Christ, what am I? Why is this thing popping up? Instead of having to rely on MRT or what hub spoke nonsense, you could take a bus direct to the intermediate stops. Kind of like the Sims Avenue, Geylang Road, Changi Road concept. Sims Avenue East as well. Then you have to look at your surroundings. You have, oh my god. You have a school. You have a school. You have many different schools along this area. And then I think there are schools here as well. International schools, Singapore schools. It's just like, you serve the private estates and you serve the schools. That's the reason why you need this thing. Keep in mind, you need this thing from Woodlands. It cannot be truncated. You absolutely need this thing from Woodlands. because there is no MRT. If you're one of the dumbasses that tell people, take downtown line, take cross island line, take Thompson East Coast line, and North South line, you are an idiot. People need this bus service, especially if they live along Marsiling. They need it. And then to Bukit Batok, right? They need this, they need this. To Jurong West Avenue 1, Jurong East Avenue 1, to Boon Lay, wherever. They need both of them. And then what else is there? This serves Hougang Avenue 3. This serves MacPherson. It's different, okay? This and this, it's basically like the 25, 55, 854Ks. They're long distance packs. The catchment is completely different. And then this thing, this thing, this thing. Their purposes are to bring 6th Avenue to the outside world. That's the reason why there's 3 of them here. One that goes like this, which is why 156 cannot be rationalized. And then 2 of them that goes here. One goes to Bukit Batok, one goes to Hillview and Bukit Panjang, one goes to Orchard Road, one basically serves Holland Village, Commonwealth, Queenstown, Alexandra, River Valley, Great World, Havelock, Chinatown, Telok Ayer, and then what? Shenton Way. This one Orchard, this one Shenton. It's all different for a reason. This is duplication, but meaningful duplication. And finally, there is also this idiot that suggested that, oh, we should bring back 850 and... Like, bro, you have 851, okay? And you have 167. 850's replacements are 167 and 851. And the thing is, from like this side of Marymount all the way to like from here all the way to Far East Plaza, it's already low-key being compensated. The lack of 850 years later is already low-key being compensated with current 54. It already takes you to like Far East Plaza. And when you reach Far East Plaza, you could change to like a lot of services to go to Orchard. And if you want to go to like, I don't know, Marina Center, or if you want to go to like, what do you call it, Shenton Way. Shenton Way you have like 167 and Esplanade area. Marina Center, you could take 167 that already goes near there. Just alight at Esplanade Drive and you can walk to Marina Center area like Marina Square, Esplanade. And there is already compensation, like ample compensation. It may not be like in the form of like, oh, a bus service to Marina Center, right? It's fine, there's already 167. And if you really wanted to access Suntec, okay, just take 111. There's already ample compensation. And the same idiot basically says that like, oh, we should bring back tips 161 as well. I'm like, there's already this, and then there's a literal Scheme B bus service that clones 161 in the form of this. So, you have this. Why the fuck do we need this? Like, it doesn't make sense. If anything, this thing would get killed off by this brown line. They already saved 167 for you guys, and you guys are getting entitled and I want this as well. Can you use your brain sometimes? I'm really getting sick and tired of responding to your dumbass comments.